Hey, what's up YouTube? Houston here. Someone was asking me, how do you get a high limit credit card with American Express? Because I know some of you all may have applied with American Express and they may have started you out with like $1,000 or $2,000, and he's asking like, well, how do I even get a high limit? Well, here's the thing about with American Express. I made the video that I talk about doing the pre-qualification, right? Now, here's the interesting thing about the pre-qualification. It's all about, with American Express, they're like this. What's your income? They're more income-based driven type of credit card, okay? And so, where I always tell you guys, if you are applying for a credit card with American Express, you need to include all of your income. That's your 401k income. That's your, if you're receiving child support, alimony. If you have a spouse in the household, you need to include that income, okay? And so I'm going to tell you about probably 3 of the easiest cards to get, but again, they're income based driven. If you want higher limits, like I'm talking about $10, $15, $25,000 credit cards from American Express, it is income based. Now, here's the thing about it. If you're going to be applying for an American Express credit card, I always tell you, if you have any open revolving accounts, I would try to pay those down under 10% or to 0, all right? This is a very big factor because they're looking at your discretionary spending. So your DTI is also going to play effect. Now, remember, American Express, okay, they pull your Experian and your TransUnion now. Sometimes they will, when you first joining, sometimes they'll just pull your Experian, but lately they've been pulling your Experian and TransUnion FICO 8, okay? But once you join them, then they won't do a hard pull. It's an internal pull, okay, on your credit score. Now, the interesting thing about it is, like I told you, they will give you, even if you're not a member, they will give you a credit score, but it's a Vantage score. It's a Vantage TransUnion score. And so that score does not carry the same weight as your actual FICO score. So when you're applying for American Express, you definitely want to know what your actual FICO score is. So if you don't know what that is, click the link in the description and get your real credit score. Now, here's the thing about American Express as well. If your DTI, your debt to income ratio, is over 55%, you still have a higher chance of being denied. Now, here's the interesting thing. I keep telling you, you don't have to have perfect credit to get an American Express card. I have seen people with a 640 credit score get an American Express card. Now, was the limit low? Yes, but they still approved them, all right? But here's the thing about it. I keep telling you, guys, is if you want to know what credit cards you're pre-approved for with American Express, you want to go to a web browser, and a different web browser than you usually log in, or you can when you go to American Express, do not log in, basically, okay? And then you're able to do a pre-approval without the hard pull, and it'll tell you what credit cards you may be qualified for, okay? And then if you're happy with those limits. Now, that being said, again, remember that American Express is income driven. So if you have open revolving accounts, please make sure that, especially if you have over 4 open revolving accounts, make sure at least 2 to 3 of those are down to under 10% or 0. Okay, It's very important because they're looking at this. And like I said, with the income, make sure you include your spouse, or like I said, if you have alimony, child support, or something like that, make sure you include all of your income, all of your household income. This is very important. All right. Now, doesn't matter in terms of the type of trade lines on the credit file. Yes, that can play a factor too. Now, also with American Express, if you may be in a danger zone if you have more than 6 to 8 inquiries on your credit file already. Okay, so you may be in a danger zone of that. So that's also another thing you have to think about. How many inquiries I have on my Experian mainly. All right, now that being said, the easiest credit cards that I think that I've seen that people get, even with a 640 credit score, I would say the American Express Delta Gold, the American Express Blue Cash, and the American Express, it's the Delta Gold, the Blue Cash, and it's another one that you can go for. Now, here's the interesting thing about it. You know, they're platinum and gold cards. They're regular platinum and gold cards. You don't have to have perfect credit for those neither. You don't have to have perfect credit for those. And I think most people think that, oh, in order for me to get the American Express Platinum, you have to have perfect credit. But you don't. Now, in reference to getting those high limits, with the gold, American Express Gold and the Platinum, remember, those are charge cards, okay? And so they have this thing that tells you like how much is your buying power. But say that you you have the American Express Platinum, all right, and say that you was planning on buying some furniture for your house or something like that, and it costs maybe about $10,000, right? So the American Express will ask you, do you want to check your buying power? So if they say, well, you can spend up to $25,000 on your platinum card, then they have a system that you can actually make monthly. Even though it's a charge card, they have a system that says you can actually do it monthly. Okay, so that's the interesting thing about it. That's one of the things that I like about it, because even though it's a charge card, you can actually set it up to like it's a revolving card once you make that purchase, or prior to you making that purchase. Okay, but the key to just getting higher limit credit cards is making sure that you have strong income. Your revolving accounts, make sure they're under that 10%. All right, now there's one more other thing that you can possibly do as well. Say that they approve you. They approve you for American Express card, and you're not happy with the limit. You can call the recon line, okay, and you can have them to do a manual reevaluation of your financial situation. So meaning discussing to them why you need a certain limit. You may want to like I said, you may want to furnish off your house, or you may be wanting to use the money to go on a trip, and you know you're going to be using the card a lot. You know, something that they understand why you need a certain amount of money and why it's so important at this given time. All right. So if you have any other questions about business credit funding, personal credit funding, click a link in the description, schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.